Howdy folks, I'm mischievous Alaskan moose, mysteriously meandering around misty mountain moors.
I'm Amber.
And here are more misty mountain moors for us to meander about, because that's what we do as moose. Let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Lying to My Husband? On New Year's this year, 2 days ago, we had biscuits and gravy for breakfast. My husband was telling me that he wanted me to be more firm with him about things that he procrastinates on. Today, I made biscuits, and then I pulled the leftover gravy out. He then got on to me about how I know that he doesn't like leftovers, and he'll just make something else. He then proceeded to ask Alexa how long gravy is good for, and she said 2 to 3 days, depending on factors. So he says, see, even she says that it's bad. So I tell him that I'll make new gravy, but I didn't. I reheat the old gravy. So once I finished, he dug through the trash to see if the gravy was in there and yelled at me for lying to him. This is one of those things that he procrastinates about. He says this all the time and that he needs to get better about eating leftovers. I also work on food, and I'm food safety certified at a manager level for my state, so I know proper storage, safety, and definitely if food is good or not. I realize that I shouldn't have lied, but then I'm wasting food and doing extra work and not doing what he asked me to do in the first place. Am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think?
Yeah, I think Opie's in the wrong here. If she didn't want to make extra gravy, that's within her right. Like he said, he'd get his something else to eat. She should have just left it up to him at that point instead of trying to manipulate him into eating the gravy trick him into eating gravy that was expired by his standards.
By his standards.
And the fact that he dug through the trash either indicates to me, one, that OP routinely does things like this and he can't trust her, or two, there's some deeper trust issue going on that he might need therapy for. But it doesn't indicate a healthy relationship.
I don't know. It's a bit of a strange situation. If OP works in food safety, and here he is doubting his wife and whether she knows if something is good or not.
Well, I mean, to be fair, people have different feelings around that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know that a lot of foods are good past their use by dates, but or not use best by dates, but I still, like, once it hits the best by date, I'm like, nope, I'm done.
Well, and I think, again, like, people are going to have different opinions on that stuff, but this was cooked gravy, too, and just refrigerator or frozen, right? And the thing is, like, gravy lasts quite a while, and there's a lot of things where they'll just say 2 or 3 days just to, mitigate liability and whatnot, because, like, you can't have Alexa giving you food poisoning or something like that, right? So it's not like this is the authority on food safety. If anything, OP would be the authority on food safety. So I think that it's odd that he's trying to basically say how she should be doing her job and stuff like that. But, again, like, if he's not comfortable with eating something, he's not comfortable with eating something. But he also can't demand that she get on his case more about doing things like eating leftovers if he's not going to eat the leftovers, because then he's claiming that they're not safe or something like that.
Well, I think it depends on, like, if he just doesn't eat leftovers because he forgets, like, it might be there's OP's conflating two different things, because if he doesn't feel comfortable eating leftovers, that might be a point that he's not looking to be lectured on.
Mm-hmm.
It might be like he just forgets about them, like doesn't see them in the fridge, because, I can do that. There'll be something sitting right in the fridge and I walk by it 100 times and I just cannot see it for whatever reason. Or it could be like, so it really depends on what he's actually asking of OP.
Yeah.
I can't judge without more information.
And it's hard. But, I mean, I don't think that OP was right for tricking him. And I think that tricking him was going a step far. If he doesn't want to eat something, he said that he was going to basically make his own food, and OP should just let him do that at that point in time. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. But folks, let's see what the Wheel of Judgment has to say. Wheel of Judgment, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the judgment that OP's earned. You're the jerk, and that's an understatement. Apparently the wheel is all about food safety.
Or the wheel just doesn't like tricking people.
Yeah. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Not Buying My Entitled Mother a Birthday Gift Just After Having a Baby with My Fiancé? My fiancé is a 25-year-old female, and I'm a 25-year-old male, and we just had a baby. 12/16, we are both on paternal leave and money is tight, and we have bills, and we just had Christmas, and we have a 3-week-old baby. Now here's the situation. My mother's birthday is the first week of January, and she has asked for a gift. I have politely stated that we can't afford to give her a gift this year, and if we do, then it will be late. I was respectful in hopes that she would be understanding. I was wrong. Her response was along the lines of, I'll forget about your birthday then this year, which is fine. I don't care about my birthday. That was just the icing on the cake. I told her that I couldn't afford to get her a gift and that I didn't care if she forgot about my birthday. In response to that, my mom started blaming my fiance for me not getting her a gift and calling this whole conversation abuse, basically insinuating that we are neglecting her or outcasting her. For some background information, ever since my fiance got pregnant back in April 2024, my mom has tried to make the whole experience about her. She got mad when my fiance didn't take her to appointments. She got mad when I found out the gender intimately with my fiance. She was upset with the last name that we gave our son and made side comments about how my fiance's mom was allowed in the living room but not her. Not to mention all the side comments saying that my fiance is a B or is paranoid. I have defended my fiance through all of this, but it's getting ridiculous. Am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk, and it may be time to take a timeout from your mom. I mean, it seems like she is competing with the fiance for OP's time and attention and money. And the fact that she does not have any regard for OP's financial situation and sees this as like, if you don't spoil me on my birthday, then, I'm not going to do anything nice for you.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a bad way to see this.
Well, I mean, it's outright dishonest to say that if someone doesn't get you a gift, it's abuse.
Oh, yeah,
right?
absolutely.
I mean, like, you are not entitled to gifts, right? And you should never buy gifts if it's something that you just can't afford, right?
Right. And I feel like any reasonable parent would accept, oh, my kid just has a new baby. They've got a lot of expenses. Like, I mean, OP could make her a nice handmade card, but I have a feeling that wouldn't go over well for her. But like a reasonable parent would accept like a heartfelt like birthday wish and be like, okay, that's all I want.
Yeah, exactly. So she doesn't sound like a very good mother. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Plastic Cat 9560 says, oh, where to start? I swear we have the same mother. She is emotionally abusing both you and your fiance. Perhaps go no contact for a while. You are a new dad and you need to focus on your new family unit. Let the dust settle and perhaps have a conversation with your mother. Set some boundaries or this negative energy will eat you alive. This whole gift BS on her part is entitled, juvenile, and ridiculous. Not the jerk, by the way. And OP replies, every single time I try to talk to her, she just doesn't listen and blames me, and it's just rinse and repeat from there. And Nithril Sylvian says, not the jerk? And I'm sorry, but why are you still in contact with this lady? She sounds exhausting. Set clear boundaries right now and go low contact before she starts trash talking your fiance about how she takes care of your baby to her face. You and your fiance are saints for putting up with her nonsense this long. And OP replies, I honestly have no idea why I still put up with this. It's that she's my mom is still stuck in my head, but family comes first now. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for going no contact with my mother-in-law after she convinced my husband to ask for a paternity test because our baby looked too much like me? Sorry, this is going to be long, and I apologize in advance for any spelling mistakes. English is not my first language. 4 months ago, I, a 31-year-old female, and my husband, Mark, a 32-year-old male, welcomed our first child, a daughter, Sophia. Me and Mark have been together for 10 years and married for 6 years. Getting pregnant wasn't exactly a walk in the park. We were trying for 2 years before it finally happened, and I miscarried 4 times during those years. My parents died when I was 15, and I lived with my grandparents until I was 18 and started college. My mother-in-law has been like a mother to me and has been an amazing support ever since me and Mark got together. She made dinners and called daily to check up on me after the miscarriages. When Sophia was born, the first thing that mother-in-law did was she came and visit, and she wanted to check on how I was doing after the birth and focused on Sophia. I remember thinking that I had the best mother-in-law anyone could ask for. She was the first person we told about our pregnancy at week 18, and she was over the moon about becoming a grandmother. The first 4 weeks after we got home from the hospital, she moved in with us to help out with Sophia. She was so helpful and always made sure that she didn't overstep in any way. My mother-in-law always talked about how Sophia was a mini version of me and told everyone about how my daughter was a true copy of me. Mark was in love with our little girl and did everything that he could to help out. He came home early every day to spend as much time as he could with Sophia and me. Everything seemed so perfect. This was what we had waited for so long. All he could talk about was how perfect our little girl was and how much she looked like me. He even found some old photos of me and made a collage of me and her as babies to put on the wall. After my mother-in-law moved home, I think I saw her a couple of times and would only speak to her if I called her. But to be honest, I didn't think of it much as I was always busy with being a mother. After the first 2 months, Mark started getting more distant and coming home late. He started to spend a lot of time at his mother's house and said that she needed some help with renovations in her house. I appreciated all the help that mother-in-law had given us, so I decided not to complain about it, even though I was exhausted from never getting an hour to myself anymore. Right after Sophia turned 3 months, Mark came home and said that we needed to talk. He sat me down and told me that he wanted a paternity test because his mother thinks that our child looks too much like me and nothing like him. My jaw was on the floor and I felt something inside me break. He doubled down, saying that he agreed with Sophia looking like me and nothing like him, and that mother-in-law told him that I probably cheated with someone who has some of the same features as me. Mother-in-law claims that their family genes are super strong and that Sophia should have had some of Mark's features if she was his. After he was done talking, I couldn't get a word out and I just started crying. It feels like the biggest betrayal that they both accused me of cheating. And the reason being that my daughter looks too much like me. He told me that he was sorry, but his mother got into his head and he couldn't let it go. And it was constantly on his mind. I just felt defeated by the whole situation and agreed to the paternity test. Although I told him that when the test came back telling Sophia was his daughter, I wanted nothing to do with mother-in-law, and that we would have to start couples counseling if there was any hope for this relationship to be saved. Fast forward to now, the test came back a week ago, and surprise, surprise, she is his daughter. He had this look of relief before the guilt and panic hit him and started to apologize to me over and over. I told him that he needed to tell his mother and then tell her that we needed a break from her. Surprisingly, he was all for it, and I could hear him yelling at her for making him doubt me and telling her that we don't want any contact for a little while. Mark blocked her number after he hung up, so she started to call and text me. It switched from that she was sorry and that I was horrible for not seeing it from her point of view and taking away her family. I blocked her too, but some of his extended family have messaged both Mark and me, calling us cold-hearted jerks for cutting mother-in-law out the way we have. I have started to doubt my decision, thinking that I was too harsh after being hurt. Maybe I made a mistake by distancing ourselves from mother-in-law. After all, she was just looking out for her only son. So Reddit, am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, I don't think Opie's the jerk, but I think husband is actually the bigger problem here than mother-in-law. That he was so swayed by his mom's thing. Like, he's literally doubting Opie's fidelity because his mom is like, your kid looks like your wife.
Yeah.
Like, she does not seem, none of them seem to understand how genetics work. It doesn't matter, even if you have a lot of dominant traits, with the luck of the draw, sometimes, what are considered, less prominent features can be the ones that come out. And to be like, sometimes kids just look like the mini version of one parent. It happens.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was extremely short-sighted. I mean, because, like, they're being like, well, we have strong genes, and they show up. Well, what makes you think that OP doesn't have strong genes and that they
Exactly.
don't come out too, right? It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I mean, everyone can have strong genes, but some genes are going to have to win, right?
Yeah, Opie's genes are stronger.
The thing is that I think it was an extremely foolish thing for them to do and to accuse OP of cheating when there wasn't any proof that OP was being unfaithful. And it just kind of goes to show that they are, you know, only sorry that they got caught is really kind of what it seems like.
Yeah, sorry that they're wrong, and like it's the way that mother-in-law went from apologizing to you're a horrible person,
Yeah.
like that doesn't give me warm fuzzies about this at all. And I understand that she's upset, but she did a horrible thing and she needs to live with the consequences.
Yeah.
If you tell someone you think their partner cheated on them, you have to be prepared for the fallout.
Yeah. And it's a sad situation, and I hope that someday they can reconcile, but this is going to be such a hard thing to reconcile from, right? And I think that whatever they do, like they said that they needed a break from mother-in-law, so they didn't say that this was a permanent thing or anything like that. But she just couldn't let it go and just apologize and try to, you know, let them have the time and space they needed to repair the relationship.
Right, because their relationship needs, again, like I think husband is the biggest issue in all of this. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad that he's agreed to go to counseling. And hopefully that will help. He might need individual counseling too to understand why his mom's suggestions had so much power over him,
Mm-hmm.
why he would doubt his wife's fidelity
Yeah.
because of something ridiculous his mom said.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke. As she frantically flips to the page where it's at.
What do snow people place in their children's nurseries?
Snow people place snow figurines, snow globes in their children's nursery so that the kids get a good taste of the frosty winter.
Snowmobiles.
Snow.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I get it. Yeah, I got it. I got it. It's a good joke.
and it's Peculiar People Day today.
Oh, Peculiar People Day today.
So if you're a peculiar person, today's for you.
Yes. They dedicated an entire day to me. Thank you. And I have Earl Grey. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy, fantastic Friday, folks. I can't believe it. We made it to the end of the week. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and our guidance. And please have it on how to be a good mother-in-law.
Don't start getting in your son's ear that their child isn't theirs because the kid looks like their wife.
And also, don't demand presents.
Yes.
Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.